These are some of the most diverse and flexible ingredients I've come across. You can use them in soups, gungs, which by the way is a real concept found in Wikipedia, stews, salads, sushi, rice, dumplings, stir-fry, hot pots, as an appetizer, as part of a main course, and even as part of your 10-course meals in Chinese banquets. The list goes on and on, honestly.
And they are mushrooms!
I was honestly scared of using mushrooms when I was a younger lady. I didn't know how to buy them or how to use them until I started this soup adventure. It took some old ladies at the wet marts encouraging me and a lot of experimentation to realize that mushrooms aren't that scary. Today, we'll cover the different types of mushrooms and which ones are best used for soups. Then we'll explore the best way to use these delicious fungi. There are so many different types of mushrooms available. The most common mushroom used in Chinese soups is the shiitake mushroom. These are often found dried, but are also available fresh from supermarkets. So you've got your shiitake mushrooms, your long mushrooms, your short mushrooms, and on this side you've also got more mushrooms. So the two most common types of mushrooms are these long mushrooms, or you go with your traditional shiitake mushrooms, which are the round big ones. These are the two common ones that I use. They don't smell very fragrant now, but when you open them, they have a true scent. Other types of mushroom used in soups are also dried and fresh oyster mushrooms, Japanese shimeji mushrooms, monkey head mushrooms, brown mushrooms, and wood ear mushrooms are among some of the ones I do use.
Dried mushrooms come in all shapes, sizes, and price points. Some of the more expensive shiitake mushrooms are beautifully flowered, so they have a nice pattern and design on top of them. They're consistently round, and they're the highlight of the dish, which is why they need to look so good. The fascinating thing I found about shiitake mushrooms is some of the dried ones are actually artificially scored. So that means they use a knife and they cut them first before they dry. And therefore when they dry, you'll see these scoring patterns on these dried ones. So these ones are a little less expensive versus the beautiful flowered ones.
For soup mushrooms, you can use more mainstream ones that you can find at the supermarkets. They are still amazingly flavorful. To use these hydrated mushrooms in soups or dishes, wash them first and then soak them to rehydrate in room temperature water. I'll use just enough water to cover the mushrooms as they don't expand that much. This is so that you can use this delicious flavored water afterwards. Rehydration is needed if you're going to use them in stews, dishes, or quick boil soups. To check if they're sufficiently rehydrated, feel for squishiness. They should be completely soft throughout, even the stems, and when squeezed, can release water. Cutting the stems are optional, and I'll do this if I plan to serve them up.
For soups, you can drop this directly into your boiling water, including the flavored water. That's what really creates some of that fragrance in your soup. Another thing to try if you're using mushrooms in soups is to pan fry them first. And what that literally means is exploding the flavor. In Cantonese, it's bao ho, which literally means exploding the flavors. Let's try. What you want to do in a shallow pan with it heated on high is just add a bit of oil before you fry your mushrooms. As soon as that's hot, you can put in your mushrooms and brown both sides.
And for those lazy soup days with limited time or no patience to wait for it to fully soften, I'll just drop them in as dry ingredients directly into the soup, making sure that they get a good long boil to soften and release their full potential and flavors.
One of the great things with using mushrooms, and if you love eating them, you can serve them with your soup or as part of the meal.
Remove from your soup and keep whole or slice and serve with soy sauce or oyster sauce. In stews, I'll have them bathed in my sauce of choice for that meal, usually an oyster or soy sauce base. Add in complementary ingredients such as black moss, other mushrooms, or any types of meats and vegetables. Beyond soups, I'll also chop them up and mix them in steamed pork patties or in dumplings and wontons. You can also use them as part of stir-fry dishes and in noodles and fried rice.
Fresh shiitake mushrooms can also be used in soups. They just aren't as flavorful as their dried counterparts. These are best with quick boil soups or hot pots because they soften really quickly. If you're new to using mushrooms in Chinese cooking, start small. Soups are the easiest because all you need to do is drop them in and ta-da! Experiment with pairings such as mushrooms in pork broth or a mushroom in your chicken herbal soup. And finally, enjoy the learning process and try them all. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.